In the vast, remote heart of Niger State, the community of Papiri rests under a heavy, charcoal sky. This is where St. Mary's Catholic School stood, a silent promise of a future, filled with the slumbering breath of 315 young souls. They were boys and girls, aged from the cusp of childhood to the edge of adulthood. At 2 a.m., the only sound should have been the rustling of leaves or the dry chorus of crickets. But on that night, a sound broke the stillness, a sound that signaled not just danger, but the definitive arrival of the abyss. It began as a vibration, low and guttural, carried on the dry earth. Dozens of motorbikes. Not the sound of commuters, but the synchronized throb of a hunting pack. They arrived fast, silent, and cloaked in darkness, a tide of armed silhouettes swarming the compound. They knew exactly where the children slept. They knew the school's vulnerability. This was not chaos. This was calculated terror. The men, the bandits, the kidnappers, the monsters of the forest, did not speak to announce their presence. They spoke with the cruel force of their entrance, the sickening crack of doors torn from their hinges, the shatter of windows blown out, and the immediate, overwhelming stench of gun smoke mixing with the metallic tang of pure fear. Imagine the absolute, paralyzing horror of being ripped from sleep, your eyes adjusting to see only the black shape of a rifle pointed directly at your face. The voices were guttural, commanding, unintelligible, yet the meaning was devastatingly clear: obey or suffer. 315 children and teachers were forced from their bunks. The smallest ones, still weeping in confusion, had to be carried by their older classmates. The bandits, devoid of humanity, used whips of leather and hard plastic, lashing at the air to drive the mass forward. They were shoved, pressed together, treated not as people but as a harvest of ransom. Every push, every terrified whimper, every backward glance at the home they were leaving behind was met with an echo of cold steel and the threat of violence. Then, the forced march. Hour after hour, stumbling into the choking dust of the bush. They left the lights of the school behind, following shadows into the dense, dark forests where every twig snap sounded like a gunshot. Think of the psychological torture, the physical exhaustion, the desperate thirst, the sheer knowledge that no help was coming, that the Nigerian night had swallowed them whole. With every mile, the children were dragged further away from salvation and deeper into the unforgiving cruelty of greed. This is the real-life horror of St. Mary's. This is the truth of the countless abductions that have crippled communities across Nigeria, devastating the educational foundations and disproportionately targeting faith groups. We have given you the scene, the screams, and the bloodless logic of the violence. When the victims are systematically targeted, when the very possibility of faith and learning is being held for ransom or extinguished entirely, it forces us to look deeper than mere crime. We present these agonizing facts, and we ask you to consider the chilling question. When you look at the pattern of this devastation, is this merely banditry, or is it the calculated, terrifying march of a genocide? The judgment is now yours. Do not let their suffering fade into statistics. Like this video, share the story of